Welcome to Triangle BNI. Today's show is brought to you by Oak City Tech. We talk each week about the loud and crowded digital marketing world and digital world and half truths, baked truths, full truths. You never know what's out there. So you need professionals like Drago and his team at Oak City Tech that will help you get your message to your current clients and your future clients. If you need some help, go to oakcitytech.com. Tell them what you're looking for. I know they'll be able to help. Hi, everybody. My name is Mike Manning. Each week on Triangle BNI, we bring you a local small business success story. If you are not familiar with BNI, it is Business Networking International, the world's largest networking organization. Our little slice of heaven here in the Triangle, Raleigh, Durham, and Chapel Hill. Each week, about 31 chapters, almost 530 members get together, and our goal is to help each other grow our businesses. And our local small business success story this week is Jenn Otepka with 621 Productions. Jenn is in RD24, the Apex Business Builders. They meet Thursdays at 9 a.m. on Zoom right now. So if you're in the Apex area, want to meet some very talented, very dedicated, very cool small business owners to help you grow your business, please please visit their chapter. Jenn, good morning. How are you?
I'm great, Mike. How are you doing this morning?
Good. So you were in the global facility of 621 Productions, right?
I am. This is where the magic happens.
All right. Well, I've got a number of questions for you today, like husband and wives working together daily, hourly, by the minute, with kids. How do you survive? What do you talk about? All that good stuff. But 621 Productions, you do some cool stuff. And we're just talking about before we came on the air, all the fun stuff you find in the garage, because we're cleaning the garage out this past weekend. So you help people. One of the things you guys do that I think is the coolest is you help people digitize and save old pictures, videos, and things like that. I know that's a lot of fun for you because I'm sure people bring you some wild stuff.
It's amazing. I've recently took on this role full time about a year and a half ago, and the things that come through our doors, we've seen professional items from Beyonce, stuff from Beyonce, and other large name performers, to family memories from 10, 20, 30, even 50 years ago. So films, slides, photos. We've worked with so many different situations, whether it be just something that someone found in the closet or someone's been through a tragic incident such as a house fire or flood damage. So we've seen it all.
And you look at generational things. So you and Jack have a couple of young kids, and we've got Becky and I have a grandson. So their life is going to be on camera. They smile 18 times a day for pictures. So they'll have that. But going back to your generation, certainly my generation, there are those old black and white Polaroids that people still keep. And sometimes they're still in focus, right?
No, absolutely. And that one of the hardest things is customers will come in and they're like, we have no way of viewing this. Everything is dated, and they're just looking for a way to preserve and share those memories, especially with, the newer, younger generation who is like, what is a VHS tape? Like, they have no idea. That's how we used to watch movies. It wasn't through a streaming service. It was, you put a tape in the machine and you hit play. So very different.
We actually found two of those in the garage that played VHS and discs. So we thought, of course, back then, I mean, that was it. We were uptown because we had one of those machines. And now it's like, what's that? And then you get back to the other old guy stories, 3 channels, no remote control, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the things, though, that people want to keep, because a lot of us, we may not have met our grandparents, and certainly our great grandparents. That's rare. And to see the old wedding photos or grown up photos of them, those things are priceless to keep.
Yeah, the most memorable I feel is we do reel to reel audio. So that is the one of the main ways people communicated back when, between wars and when people were deployed. A lot of weddings come on reel to reel, and just the emotion that comes from our customers, just hearing that again after so long, or maybe not even hearing it before at all. is definitely one of the perks of our job.
And one of those neat things I'm sure you hear when somebody brings in video or the reel to reel, and it's been 30 or 40 or 50 years since that event, and they watch it and they're like, oh, I forgot all about that.
Yeah, or a person in there
Yep.
they haven't seen or are like, oh, that's what that person looked
Yeah.
like. So
And so the reel to reel you will put on, what do you do with that if somebody brings in a reel to reel for you?
yeah, so everything that's brought in, we highly recommend digitizing either we create an MP4 file or an MP3 if it's audio. Um, most things you can put things on CDs and DVDs, but most things don't come with disk drives anymore. And it's with a digital file, it's more um, complex. You can do more with it, copy, share, edit. So
And then you give that to a family member, or there are multiple copies made for people. How do they keep control of that and track of that once they leave your place?
yeah, it's just based on their specific order. So we provide the first file for them. We can either email it or submit it to put it on a thumb drive for you, and they can just copy and paste it that way.
Okay. Now, originally, when you and Jack got started, you were a wedding videography company,
Oh yes,
and
we
those are challenging at best, right?
it was definitely experience. My husband and I got married super young. I was only 19, fresh out of college, and he he was already in that business, so I kind of married into it. And we ended up doing every weekend, Saturdays and Sundays, just 8 to 12 hour days. Um, Working weddings, and it was definitely experience. I've met my fill of bridezillas and mother-in-laws and mother of the brides, and it was definitely experience.
Now, what kind of video equipment were you using back then?
Um, Equipment isn't usually my forte. My husband deals with all of that, but I can. It wasn't much different. We were still using digital cameras. I would say they're not as advanced, but it was still digital.
Tripods everywhere, right?
Tripods, monopods, the works.
All right, so you just buried the lead there. You had graduated from college by the time you were 19.
Oh no, I jumped the
Okay.
bucket right out of high school, I guess I should
Okay.
say.
I was about to be even more impressed. So.
Oh man, no.
Do you remember the first wedding you two were?
I actually do. I remember just sitting, we would go to Starbucks and sit with our clients before we got the contract together. We'd go over the whole day, we plan everything. And we had this couple out near Bridgeton, New Jersey. I remember because it was about an hour away from where we were, and it was kind of in the middle of nowhere. But it was a young couple. They were super excited. They had no idea what they were doing. So it was great to really help them and guide them in their wedding journey. And it was a great wedding. It was a long wedding, but it was a great wedding.
We see photographers and videographers at the weddings, but we don't factor in the amount of editing time after the event.
Oh, absolutely. You want the greatest thing about videography is just you can shoot as much as you want, but at the end of the day, it's what do you actually use and what's going to be the best to make that video most memorable.
Now, when you two started, so this was '05 when you got involved?
I got involved in '09.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then that was up in New Jersey. First of all, before we get to that, let me go back. So let's go back to the garage. So people are finding stuff. Can they get anything digitized? I mean, can they just bring you whatever they have and you guys can kind of figure it out?
Absolutely. We do anything from family and consumer based to commercial based. So it could be Betacam, Umatics, things that you would see in broadcasting, in libraries, DAT tapes, like you name it. We help them all. Just get them to a digital file.
Well, I hadn't heard that phrase, that tapes in a while. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So whatever they have, the goal is to just come to you and say, here's what we have.
Exactly. And 90% of the items that are brought in, we do in-house, which really sets us apart from our competitors. There are some things that we do have to send out that we don't have the equipment for, but that's what really gravitates people towards us, is that they know everything is here, safe, it doesn't leave, and it's in good hands.
There you go. And are you getting better at editing?
Personally,
Yes.
yes, I am. It's one of the things that I'm growing with, considering it's not my background. I have a really great teacher. I'm actually taking classes with Photoshop and things like that. So it's definitely a work in progress. But yes, from 2009 to now, I'm definitely much better at it.
Overnight success in the editing world, right? Now, when did you come down here and why?
Sure. So my husband and I came down here in 2016. Funny story is that we had no idea where we wanted to go, and we honestly put our finger on a map and just said, we're going to go here, and it was Raleigh. And we just moved down here for better cost of living, but also I had an opportunity to open a new location for Starbucks in a remote area out in Sanford. So that also brought me down as well.
You probably are not surprised by the amount of people that live here now that say the exact same thing. We wanted to move a little further south, and we just put our finger on a map, and it ended up in the triangle. You are not the first one on this show to say that. So for those of us that have lived here a while, we certainly understand that. Then you guys bought, okay, let's go to the name first. So 621 Productions. How
Yes.
did that come about, and how long did it take to land on that?
So not long. 621 represents the month and the day that my husband and I were married. So June 21st. And it wasn't really, it was a no-brainer. Really something that we wanted meaningful to us, but I also joke that it's a reminder that my husband cannot forget the day that we got married. So it's a win-win for everyone.
That was my only follow-up question. This was to help him remember the anniversary date, right?
Yep.
Now and then he has to go to math to figure out the year, but he knows the day.
Yes.
Okay. And that's all that really matters, right?
Exactly.
So then when you and Jack moved down here, you bought an existing business as a storefront, correct?
Right. Yeah. The previous company that was here was actually, it was a franchise where the owners were looking to retire. And it just coincided with our brand and what we did as a business, and decided to just move into that location.
Was that always part of the plan to have a storefront one day?
Actually, it wasn't. It was definitely just an eye-opening opportunity that we saw fit. We were definitely referral, word of mouth, not looking for anything. It just was a great opportunity that, hey, we're here. We might as well put roots down and see where it goes. And it's been great ever since.
And is it by appointment only to come in, or do you have regular hours? How does that work?
Yeah, no, we're here 7 days a week. And you can come in anytime, no appointment needed. We do before and after hours as well. So if the time frame doesn't fit, just let us know and we'll help you out.
Now you're in the shop when you're not out being the networking queen that you are, right?
Yep. Jack and I, we do have rotating schedules. We do have set days off, thankfully. But if you don't find me out networking, I am here.
And then everybody's got the pick up the kids schedule, right? Whose day is it?
We kind of rock, paper, scissors, shoot it to see who's going to the carpool lane. Usually I win. So
would you rather be working the front desk or sitting in the carpool lane?
Oh, yeah. I'd rather be here.
You'd rather be in the front desk?
I'm a very task-oriented person.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
But while you're sitting in the car for an hour, right? You can't move. You got a computer and a phone. I'm sure you're probably pretty productive, right?
You can be. Yeah, absolutely. I can't say that I let the time go to waste when I have to. But no one likes sitting in the carpool.
But yeah, that's true. It's been a while. I don't remember. I don't think we did that much, but yeah, it's been a while. But I've heard stories. So, and you see, there's the school in Apex over by the skate park, right off Main Street, the where they do all those kids do the
Yes.
yeah, the boarding. Okay, and I went by there one afternoon, and there was a long line, and people trying to turn left in there, and it just I can see where that gets ugly.
Yeah, thankfully, our kids go to Peak Charter Academy in Apex, and their carpool lane is behind the school and out of the way, but it still backs up onto 64, which is pretty dangerous. But very thankful. Some schools, they're
Yeah,
so small.
yeah.
I can't imagine.
Oh, no fun, especially if it's in a neighborhood and then you're blocking everything. But I just
Yeah.
ran across that one day. It's like, ooh, glad I'm not there. So.
Nope.
All right. When I was doing research for the show here, when I came across Starbucks, I thought, oh, there's an hour at least worth of stuff, but we won't do that today.
No.
You were with Starbucks for about 12 years. You went from, you started as a barista and ended up as a manager. So let's go to the barista days.
Yeah.
Right. First of all, are you a coffee drinker?
Yes, I am. I'm an avid coffee drinker, but I'm a tea lover at heart.
Okay.
But I do both.
All right. Were you a big coffee drinker when you started working at Starbucks?
I was a huge Frappuccino drinker. I have my mom to thank for my Starbucks addiction, and that really pivoted my decision to go work for them because I was literally spending all of my money there. Might as well have gotten a job there to just pay for the addiction. But yeah, I remember my first day, we had to do coffee tastings, and my barista trainer was like, "Oh yeah, let's do our first coffee tasting." And he he made a French press of the strongest coffee that you could ever purchase at Starbucks. It was Gold Coast coffee, which is retired now, and it was just the face that I made. It was like not a pucker face, but it like this coffee could put hair on your chest. It was so strong. I will never forget my first sip of black coffee.
Could you, as an employee, can you drink as much coffee during the day as you wanted?
Yeah, you get free drinks while you work.
Wow.
So I had my share, and then you can have one a half hour before your shift and one a half hour after your shift. So I was fully caffeinated.
Now, how many would you drink in an average day?
Well, what was great is as I progressed and as I got older, we would do shots of espresso at work, and we'd all have our own signature like espresso shot, and we just chug them throughout the day. And then so it was I can't tell you how much, but it was a lot.
And what was your signature espresso shot?
Oh, so it was a shot of espresso with cream on top, caramel drizzle, and then we had the cinnamon sugar sprinkles. You just put it on top. It's delicious.
At least 4 of those a day, right?
At least, yep.
Oh, geez.
Get you through the rush.
And your friends came in once they found out you were working there and wanted you to slide them a shot or something too, right?
Yeah, well, yes, absolutely. Starbucks was a hangout spot. Everyone came to do their homework. They studied. They met friends. They call it their third home.
Yeah, oh, yeah. And now, what year was this when you started working there?
It was in 2006.
And what was the pay back then?
So in New Jersey, I believe I started at $7.25 an hour plus tips.
Okay. And how were the tips?
They were good. We were in a really good part of town. So people tip generously. I'd probably say it was another at least $4 an hour.
Wow. That's good money back then, right?
It was amazing. Yeah. I mean, even as a supervisor, right after I got married, I'd live on my tips alone for just food for the week. It was amazing. Yeah. Can't do that now, but.
Now, is it true when you go through training that they recommend or encourage you to put the wrong names on cups?
They do not recommend. thankfully now they've shied away from writing on cups. It's all digital now with stickers. But getting the names right was definitely a task on its own. It was either you were that awkward, introverted person that was like, okay, what did I hear? I'm just going to make something up. Or you're that extrovert who's like, okay, how do you spell that? And yeah,
there are rumors in the digital world that Starbucks encourages their employees to put funny names on cups that people will put on social media to promote Starbucks. I'm sure you cannot confirm or deny that.
Well, as a former manager, I've never heard that. We do it for special occasions, and if somebody's coming in like birthday, bridal, etc., we'd make it fun. But no, not purposely.
If you couldn't spell the name, would you just put like blue shirt or red hat or something like that?
No, I think we put like a check mark or a star, and then somebody would just say, "What?" Smiley face.
Yeah, got an espresso for the old guy.
Guy
got your espresso. But it must have been a pretty good place to work if you stayed there 12 years.
It was. They treated their employees so well. The benefits, they helped put me through college, the tips, the benefits, the training. I think I gained so much from not only a business standpoint, but a customer service, as well as so many different leadership opportunities, community involvement. Like if I needed to go back, I would. It was definitely a great company. Could never say anything bad about them.
I gotta believe you would see some people 5 days a week.
7, maybe twice a day.
Really?
Yeah. The craziest drink I've ever seen was a customer. She would come in every single day. She would order a venti caramel frappuccino with 26 Splenda. And the reason why I would remember this is because she would come in, go to the condiment bar, grab the Splenda, and count them out to us. And I just remember having to open every single one and putting it in the blender. And then she's like, just throw a bunch of caramel in there. And yeah, drinking that 6-7 times in a week.
Wait, 26 Splendas.
Yep, 26.
And caramel.
Yep.
Wow.
It's a sweet tooth for sure.
That's funny. And you got to wonder how long it took her to get to 26.
I don't know, but it was by the time I got there. So
now, when you saw some of the regulars walking through the front door, did you know what drink to make? Didn't even have to ask them?
Oh, absolutely. And that was probably one of the greatest parts of the job is just you create a connection with people and you start to get to know them and their life. There are people in New Jersey that I started out with as a barista that I still talk to this day. I've seen their kids grow. I've seen troubling times. I've seen happy times. I've met a lot of lonely people. I've met a lot of people who just need a friend or someone to talk to. And I don't know, it just changes you in some way that you get excited to see these people every day.
And you knew what time they were coming in.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
So if Tony's walking through the front door, it must be 8:08.
Yeah, or you see them pulling up at the window or at the door, I'm like, I got to get this ready.
Now, how good were you at the drive-through?
So that was definitely a challenge. That's something that wasn't prevalent up in the north. So we had more cafe stores. It wasn't until I came down to North Carolina that they were like, every store is a drive-through. And I was like, what? So it's definitely an added, what's the word? It's definitely different because it's adding that third piece, and it's very metric related. Starbucks metrics people seem to think is impossible, and a lot of people have that stigma of, I'm always sitting in the Starbucks line, but Starbucks wants you to not be sitting at that window no more than 30 seconds. So to create a handcrafted beverage and food from 3 different channels of mobile order, front of house and drive through. It's very challenging.
So you learn to multitask literally and figuratively, right?
Yeah, and determining how many people you need to be successful.
Yeah. I'm always amazed at just the head count behind the counter to run a successful location.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You better have room because you've got at least 6 to 8 to 9 people, depending on the size.
Yeah. And what's great about the recipes is that they're all the same, but different flavors. So you can have a drink, but it's all made the same way. So
yeah, it's like topping on your ice cream.
Exactly.
Yeah, there you go. So now, any chance you got a former employee discount card that you can throw down on the counter?
Oh man, I do. They're all at home. I have about they give you partner cards. So at Starbucks, you're not employees, you're partners because you're actually shareholders within the company. And I have every single one. I have about 6 different ones because you get one when you first start, you get one for your anniversary. And we got one for any time that they celebrated an anniversary. So 6 different milestones. I have them all at home. I still remember my partner number like it was yesterday.
But you can't use that today when you're going to a Starbucks, right?
Only if I know someone who's working, thankfully.
Nice. All right. You are from Egg Harbor Township in New Jersey. What do we need to know about Egg Harbor Township that most people don't know?
It was the home of probably the greatest fun parks that I've ever been to as a child that I wish still existed, that I could take my kids to. TW Sports, Tunnels of Fun. I mean, an equivalent could be Frankie's or Adventure Landing, but nothing compares to the amount of memories and time that have been spent in those parks. We also are right outside of Ocean City and Atlantic City. So great memories, not only from a beach perspective, but after 21 being the gambling perspective. So you get the best of both worlds.
And the first time you watched the show Jersey Shores, did you say, oh, I got 3 friends that are just like that?
Very transparent. I've never watched the Jersey Shore.
You don't sound like you are from there.
No, that is definitely very north of us, probably at least 2 hours away. The biggest joke is probably what exit they are on the Parkway.
Yep.
Past 100.
I remember that from the old Saturday Night Live skit with Joe Piscopo. He'd say, "You're from Jersey, I'm from Jersey. What exit?" And that was his only line.
Number 9.
Number 9. Exit 9. I like that. Who are you Jen to? Who are you Jennifer to? Who calls you those names?
My mother when she's mad.
Yes.
But it's more Jenny. It was Jenny growing up. And I adapted the Jen with 2 N's from my gym teacher in 6th grade. He wrote my name down with 2 N's one time. I was like, that is the coolest thing. And it just stuck. Mr. Lochner was his name, and he was awesome.
There you go. But so Jennifer when you're in trouble.
Yep.
Do you still get that every now and then?
No.
Okay,
thankfully.
good.
I'm the oldest of 4. And I think I'm the only one that doesn't live in New Jersey still. So I don't get in trouble as much because I don't see everyone as much.
Nice. What background is the Otepka name from?
It's a mix. It's definitely a huge mix, but it's majority Czech. Got a little bit of Italian and all that, but mostly Czech.
And is that butchered more saying it or writing it?
Oh, saying it. Absolutely. I like just phonetically look at it, and it's still hard for people, but
how do they try to say it?
Otepka is probably the most common. Optica.
Yeah,
it's that TP combination that really throws people.
Otepka.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Nice. Yeah, it just if you have to spell it, just tell them to put O, Jenn O, right?
Yep,
And just leave it at that. It's like,
exactly.
so is your husband bilingual or any of his family members? Okay.
No, no, they're that's a whole different
There you
story.
go. There you go. Did you marry from the name Smith to Otepka?
So I went from Loader, so like Kurt Loader
Yeah.
to Otepka.
Great
So
voice.
mhm.
You related to him?
I wish.
Yeah. Great. One of the great voices.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought for me, he's a Mount Rushmore because I mean, when I was watching MTV and heard him come on with the news, that's just a good, solid voice.
Yep.
Stockton University in New Jersey, was that the only place to go once you graduated high school?
That or community college, unless you were going more north towards the Philly area. It was definitely a great experience. I got to live on campus, got to meet some great people. Um, but it was good. It was not like it was today when I was there. It was a state college, and they were in the process of growing. Uh, but it was definitely a fun time in my college career.
There you go. Now, when people come from small towns, I like to Google famous alums or
Okay.
famous, citizens. So you've got a couple. As far as Egg Harbor Township goes, I don't know if you know one of the great rappers of our day, Biz Markie, was from, they at least listed under their Wikipedia page. So I thought, all right,
Okay.
good song. I mean, a classic song. I believe
Yeah.
we lost him last year, I believe, but yeah. And a famous alum of Stockton University is one of my favorite actresses on Hallmark, Katrina Law. She played Nissa in Green Arrow, in the Arrow.
Really?
Yes, yes, very good. Yeah, because her dad was the bad guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So, and I watch Hallmark movies, and she's one of my favorites. I thought, okay, that was the only name I recognized on the alums because I got like a list of 20 people, and some of them were, state senators, and one of them was the president of the university and first alum to be
Yeah.
president, stuff like that. But so hopefully this interview will elevate you to that list of famous alums of Stockton University. So hopefully the word will get out.
Yeah, I feel that there are more um celebrity status from high schools rather than colleges.
Gotcha.
So yeah, if you ever have time, look Atlantic City High School,
Okay.
Bridgeton area, a lot of
Yeah.
famous people.
We'll do that on the next show.
Yeah.
One of my favorite questions to ask people that are on the show that are married. So I'll ask you, how did you and Jack meet? And do you both tell the story the same way?
So we met through a mutual friend. Um, he I met him when he was playing guitar, and that was what kind of drew me in is the musical piece that he plays.
The
He's back
bad, the
here.
bad
He's
boy.
back
We
here
get it. Yeah.
chuckling.
Yeah. The bad boy. We get it. Yeah.
um, but yeah, I was introduced. He was actually seeing someone at the time, so I just kind of let it go, and he ended up moving to Philadelphia for work. He ended up leaving, and then I started saying hey, and that was it. And we started talking online, and the power of AOL and Instant Messenger.
There you go.
We
Instant
met that way.
messenger. Nice. Something else people will be asking about, Mommy, what's that? Yeah. What kind of band did he play in?
It was just for a church group.
Okay.
So he played on Wednesdays and Sundays, and
Nice.
that was it.
And the first real date was where?
Ocean City. We went to the beach for the day.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
You and 15,000 other people, right?
Yeah, well, you have to get there early so you can get onto the beach without beach tags and not have to pay to get on the beach. And then,
Okay.
hang out on the boardwalk, mini golf, all that good stuff.
What time did you have to get there to beat the ticket takers?
At least 9:00.
Okay. And they didn't walk the beach asking people for their passes?
In Ocean City.
Oh, they lost a lot of money doing
Yeah.
that, not doing that. Now, was that a big thing to do, is go hang out at the beach?
It was, yeah. They had the boardwalk there had so much to do. There was mini golf. They had two play parks, like the amusement parks. and just so much great food, arcades. It was just the place to be in the summer.
Is there food you can't get down here?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Manco's and Manco, well, it used to be Mac and Manco's Pizza. It's now Manco and Manco. And they had Primos, they had great subs and hoagies. The Polish water ice is divine. Well, we have funnel cake here. But yeah, a lot of great food that you cannot get
You try
in
to
North
make it at
Carolina.
home.
No. I don't have time to do that.
Now, when family members come down here to visit, what kind of food do you take them to eat?
Um, I think it's more so what they can bring to me.
Yes.
We usually ask them to bring food from Wawa. So all of the
Mhm.
subs and hoagies, they were like just bring the bread separate from the meat, and we'll just put it all together when you get here. So
And tell people what Wawa is.
it's a version of it's a I guess not upscale, but it's like Sheets,
Mhm.
where you can get all different variety of convenience foods
Yep.
right there.
Yep. Our oldest son and daughter-in-law are fans of Wawa. So yes,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's any down here, right?
So the closest is Virginia,
Yep.
but they are slated to come here in 2024.
All
So
right. Are
yeah,
you going to petition one being downtown Apex?
heck yeah. Be my lunch spot every day.
We're that way. My wife is a Texan, an Air Force brat and a Texan, and we feel that same way about Buc-ee's.
Yeah.
There's
Yes.
one in Georgia, and hopefully one will be coming this way one day. But every now and then they'll pop up in places outside of Texas, and you'll see people all over the place. Oh, I'm so thankful one's coming my way.
We travel down to Florida quite frequently, and we recently just stopped at a Buc-ee's, and we're
Yeah,
like, what is this? And I didn't know they were like a superstore.
massive.
It's
Yes,
crazy.
yeah. And the other thing we found out one day was that there are a couple of Whataburgers open in Jacksonville, and
Okay.
that's Texas chain. So, but good stuff. Good stuff. Husband and wives running the same business. I only have two questions. One is, what do you talk about at the end of the day? And the second question is, who breaks the tie?
So to answer your first question, we do talk work and shop outside of work. But the end of the day is all about, okay, what does the schedule look like tomorrow?
Yep.
And who's balancing what? So are you getting the kids? I'm getting the kids. What meetings do you have? And we're just kind of playing around each other's schedules. Um, I break the tie. I am the majority shareholder of our business, so I get to make those decisions, which is
Yes.
awesome.
Wise move. Do you
Mm-hmm.
have other staff members?
We do. We have a total, including myself and Jack, we have two other employees that assist us with our customer service and media transfers.
Okay. Now, neither one of your kids are quite teenagers yet, but are they showing any interest in the digital world or the editing world?
Yeah. So my son is definitely leaning that way. He is interested in architecture and drawing and learning how to utilize pictures with Photoshop, images, things like that. So that is his wheelhouse, hopefully. My daughter is the diva. She's into more sports. So.
Okay.
Mhm.
She wants to be on camera scoring goals and hitting home runs and stuff like that, right?
Oh, put her in front of a green screen and you will have the time of your life watching her.
Are they into gaming yet?
My son, yes, they both are. My son more than my daughter.
Yeah.
Just he's had more exposure to it. But he is Roblox, Minecraft. He doesn't have a gaming system, but he does have the capabilities on his phone and iPad.
I would imagine with all the toys in your shop. And now, do you guys have a lot of this technology at your house as well?
We don't. We only have one or two things that we utilize outside of the studio. The majority, everything is here.
If anybody walked into your house, would they know that you guys own a business or what you do?
No, absolutely, absolutely not. It is definitely with just having two kids alone. Our house looks like a bomb went off in it majority of the time, to be honest with you. Um, but
And
no, just basic gray walls, hardwood floors. That's it.
and I assume you ride around town in a wrapped vehicle with your face on it and a phone number. Call us.
No, we don't have that type of advertising. So you won't spot us out in the wild unless you see us with our shirts on.
You okay? I'm glad you okay. so, so no pictures on the car. We'll get working on that because I know somebody that can wrap a vehicle for you. So.
There you go.
All right, Jenn. We've if anybody needs help digitizing anything, we've been putting your phone number up on the screen during the show. What's the website they can go to learn more about what you guys do?
Or it's just our company name, so 621productions.com.
Right, and they can learn all the services, all the editing, the production, transfer and restoration, even photography, right?
Yeah, and we do offer free quotes online. So if you have items and you're not really sure what to do with it or what you have, you can put all of your information in, and then we get back to you with what our services are and a price quote.
And if I've learned anything today, is that even if they don't think you can help them, they should still bring it to you to talk about it.
Yeah, absolutely. If we can't do it, we can always recommend someone that can. We have great referral partners to assist in just making sure that your memories are preserved.
Very nice, because we have them. The one thing I wish I had more of were my folks' audio. I got pictures, I got some video, but wish I'd done some more audio with it. So,
Yeah.
but we've had fun having you on the show today, Jenn. Good luck with business owning with your husband and kids and all that goes with scheduling. And good luck in 2022. Hope you guys have a good year.
Awesome. Well, thanks for having me. It was great to talk.
And we'll see everybody next time on Triangle BNI.
You are tuned to the Nissan Communications Network. If you tuned in too late, you can always watch each program in its entirety or download an MP3 audio file of it in the archives section at nissancommunications.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, and like us on Facebook. Sponsored by StreamingGear.com, Carolina Apparel, and DeltaForce.net.